Journalism. It's the world's most trusted profession, but it's actually very easy. There are heaps of stories out there. Almost everyone has one. The only challenge is working out which one to chuck on the news each day, and which ones to walk past. So as a public service, I'm sharing the rarely seen journey that all good journalists go on to find gold. I like to start my search by going to any public event whatsoever, just in case someone attending has an interesting life to report on. I soon met someone directly involved in something really newsworthy. And after a brief chat, we penciled in a time for an interview at his house. He also invited me to watch him go foil surfing beforehand.
What I love about this most, it's like I'm a middle-aged balding man with 2 kids, and I'm at the beach and it's probably about 5 degrees, and I'm frothing like I'm a teenager. So good. So fun. And it jumps out of the water and it's checking it out. And I remember one time that I get to the end of the wave and then turn around and start pumping back out, and I could see the dolphin is surprised. Because it's used to surfers getting to the end of the wave and then paddling back out slowly. And it was underneath me, like looking up, and you could see it kind of go, what? Like it's totally different. You know, that sort of interaction is just gold.
Later I got a text. It said he couldn't go ahead with the interview. And that was the last I ever heard from him. A while ago, I chose to link all of my self-worth to being a journalist. For motivation. Fumbling what might have been the next Watergate was a real kick in the teeth. Even if I found another story worthy of the news, now I was worried there'd be no one prepared to share it with me. I arranged to meet with someone who was already happy to share quite a lot, hoping that when I left, I would feel capable again.
If you're a cricketer or a yachtsman, you've got to have the right kit. In nudism, you don't need any kit except the hat. But I don't know, you know, it's just a simple way of living with no clothing and being in touch with nature, because you've got nature kissing you the whole time when you're out and about with no clothes on. It's a good feeling.
Why are you wearing clothes now?
Well, the weather is just not suitable for nudism. She's dead. There's a fucker next door neighbour here. Oops. Here's quite a good photo of Yvonne and I. There's a bloke at the barbecue. He's cooking the wrong sausage.
At some point the man revealed he'd had a long career as a private investigator. As a fellow investigator, who is private, this was a great chance to absorb some industry wisdom.
This ad appeared for a firm in Richmond that
wanted to employ an investigator. And so I thought, oh, that'll be all right, because I'm pretty observant. And so I went for this interview in a room about 4 metres square with a closed door and the atmosphere full of cigar smoke. Here's the keys to a car, away you go. And that was the apprenticeship completed. No investigator that has done his job properly is ever going to be a saint. Like, we used to go into people's houses and spend extended time in there with them not knowing what we were really doing. They had the old wood stove going, and his missus was making pike, which you might know as pancakes or drop scones. Anyway, as fast as she was making them, we were eating them, and I was there for a couple of hours, sizing this bloke up, and I found out what I had to find out. Some blokes had competitions to see how long they could go to a house and stay. One bloke went and stayed for the weekend. Oh, jeez. The things we did.
I'd spent years making a name for myself, working in communications for a large Australian postal service that I won't name. It had been a long time since I'd done an investigation, but now I knew a guaranteed way to relaunch my career. All I had to do was trick a stranger into letting me sleep at their house. So under the guise of a documentary about people with unique spare bedrooms, I went to the house of the only person who responded.
You get one piece of metal and you transform it again into a story. And that story is a journey and a process that takes quite a while. A lot of the people who have the skills have limitations because you can't do that. But because I don't have those skills or that knowledge, I go, well, I'm going to try that because I think that will be good. And they were right, it broke. So a lot of my work is creatures or insects. For example, this lizard up there, there's a spider up there. I went through a period where I made a lot of hands and a lot of feet, like literally a handbag. And I've got another one over there. So
I could finally see my ticket to a Walkley Award. But something about this plan didn't feel right.
showing them the basics, and then we went off to the class together. So I was just giving them the confidence, I suppose, and a few skills so that when they went to the class, they felt comfortable. So yeah, I love helping people. And helping people realise their potential. Like, a lot of people don't realise. They don't give it a go.
It takes a generous person to volunteer for a stranger's vague project. I wasn't sure if taking advantage of this kindness was okay. But it was clearly a muscle that I had to build.
I got this second hand for probably $5.5 grand. I then had some work done to it to make it look a bit better. I've probably spent about $8 grand on it. Brand new at the moment, these go for 10. You can see there's only really 2 cups because my partner doesn't drink coffee, for one. But just the ritual of getting up in the morning and having a coffee. I could go to bed thinking, I know the machine's going to turn on, I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to make a coffee, and it's going to be good. Then when people do come around, whether it be friends or parents or whatever, it makes me reassured there's going to be a good cup of coffee. So.
Right. Do you mind if I have one?
Sure. No problem at all. You want me to make one right now?
We have so many happy customers. That's a token of opening the conversation and opening the smile. I usually buy quite a few together, and I always keep refilling it.
Do you mind if I have one?
Of course not. it is free and it is for everyone.
Anywhere that serves alcohol really needs to provide water for free. Most people come in to buy something.
I remember when it arrived, I was 10 years old and I was just so happy. Like, it was such a big instrument, it was like 3 times my size. There is a small version for kids, yeah, so they can actually play it, but it's built that anyone can play it.
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Most barbers use the scissors like this. I like to use like this kind of movements. If I fast and good, I earn good money. Normal haircut, 10, 15 minutes. The buzz cut, 3 back and sides and scissors on top, more faster.
Could you show me?
Yeah, sure. How I can show you? I don't believe this, I don't believe this.
What's your favourite part of a journey?
I don't know, I think I still like the takeoff the most.
Through the Laughing Cook, what I wanted to create was to inspire kids to lead this more holistic lifestyle where they can create meals for themselves and others as well. And maybe just, cook from the heart. It's called pinni. It's supposed to be a protein ball with flaxseed and almonds and different kinds of nuts. I think there's a bit of sunflower seeds in that as well. Right. And spiced with, beautifully spiced with some Indian spices. Right. It's really nice. I love it.
Do you mind if I have one?
Please go ahead. It's so good. I really feel nice after eating one each every day. I feel like a better, feel my body functioning better. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I believe that when the time is right, that I will emerge from the shadows and I will do what I want to do in whatever capacity, and reaching out to whoever I feel might need me or my services.
Is this not what you want to do?
It is what I want to do, but there is a reluctance in me which says, like, how would you do this? Like, how would you put it all together? How will you sustain it? How can it sustain you? So a part of me would like to do this, would like to keep this as a side hustle wherein it'll still be fun, playful and joyous, rather than, expecting to make an income from it or expecting it to be my bread-winning activity. I think if I categorize it thus, it might lead me to be more under stress or, think more about, like, be more salesy, which I really don't want to be. I just want it to be coming from a place of giving, coming from a place of sharing, coming from a place of just having a nice time. That's your lunch.
Thank you, that looks lovely.
How come I said yes to you? I don't know. I saw your Facebook post. And I thought, I guess I like helping people achieve something different. And yeah, I think what you're doing is cool, and I wish you all the best.
I was so focused on trying to prove myself that I'd lost sight of the community and the power of generosity. Even something as easy as journalism can still have its setbacks. But I realised I could get the public to do the bulk of my job for me, by posing as a curious, open-minded journalist. I soon got a response from someone who worked for the government but couldn't speak on the record. The call was brief and cryptic, but it was a terrific scoop. The whole news package came together flawlessly. I even felt more confident presenting to the camera. Since my evening at Toastmasters.
It's a club where we meet every week and then we do speeches. Which celebrity do you think could double up as an everyday hero?
I think
Thank you.
a lot of these commendations and recommendations are sort of based on the assumption that you're not holding a camera in your hand. So I guess my main recommendation was that you were standing too far back, but again, I do understand you sort of have to capture the footage.
I took the finished piece straight to the national broadcaster. I didn't want to get too ahead of myself, but I wondered if maybe they would ask me to run the network. I couldn't get through the door without an appointment. When I called, I was directed to submit an online form, which didn't get a response. Eventually, I convinced a young reporter to meet with me, away from the office on his day off.
Do I represent the ABC? No, I don't represent the ABC. I represent me. But I work for the ABC. Alright. Let's make sure it's as loud as possible.
This might be your idea of paradise, if you hate freedom. While this public space boasts an inviting array of flat poles, sticking posters here is forbidden.
What do you think about the government censorship that's going on?
What government censorship?
They don't allow you to put up flyers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just silly because we're supposed to have free speech in this country.
Free speech is what makes this country the place that it is.
The visitors I loosely explained this to were shocked, but for small business, it's a common story.
We often don't have a lot of money for advertising, so you're kind of looking for free spaces where you can advertise.
The government body running the space said you need a poster permit, yet the only material in the approved poster zones was for the precinct itself. In the city, permits cost $28 each day, and bylaws allow the council to fine poster offenders $3,000.
Unless you've got connections and they'll let you put it up at a cafe or something and those type of things, you know, I'm kind of limited where I can put stuff.
Having never heard of poster permits, funk reggae band The Neo has spent weeks promoting their gig.
We put them all around town. They're a nice big A2 poster, and it's not easy to find places for those. If you're going to put them in that public space, you got to accept that might get taken down the next day, and you've wasted your money and your time.
Failed by local government, the community has held on to free speech, thanks to big business.
Do you think there's a responsibility to the notice board?
No. Truthfully, I don't give a shit. But I just let anybody put whatever up there that they want to.
It's a monument to freedom, a testament to humanity at its best. But most poster displays still have strict guidelines.
We take more things that a group of people can go to. It's an event more than just selling things. We don't do that. We just do the community events that are coming up.
My line is when somebody says, do you know what sort of shit you got on your notice board? And I come out, I see it, I go, oh, then I take it down.
I'm sure there are some serious bylaws and laws about putting posters up, but we've been always on the lucky side of things.
maybe there's a questionable thing about, you know, war on free speech.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, is this really like the bar to clear free speech?
If not that, then what?
I don't know, just things that perhaps matter more than putting up a poster. I'm not sure it would make it to an ABC bulletin as is. If it did, it would be... I just can't see it making it. I mean, it's a statement that probably isn't necessarily factual, but, you know, could be true in some cases. I don't know if that would editorially pass the muster of the ABC scruples. Like what, as in the ABC network? No, to be honest, I don't think you will. But maybe, you know, who says you need to do legacy media? There's other ways to do it.
Never doubt yourself. If you really put your mind into doing something, you can do it. It gives you a good feeling. It gives you, it makes you feel better within yourself. I was always interested in art, but it was deemed to be a waste of time at that time, and I really enjoy doing art now. And I've won a few prizes and really love doing art, painting. When I found out about water-soluble oils, that's what I use now. And these ones have been done, these are Australian natives, so I thought some of the tourists might like Australian natives. And the horse in a horseshoe, every young girl wants a horse. It's just an honesty box, and they put their money in here, and that's where we collect it then.
How do you feel having your art hanged where people poo?
Well, they've got to have something nice to look at when they're sitting on the throne, isn't it? Yes. Usually mine are about $30, $35 and usually sell two a week. So for a pensioner, that's good pocket money.
Wealth, in a lot of cases, probably doesn't bring happiness, but neither does being on the bones of your bum. So, got to be a happy medium somewhere. It's very good not to have clothing, but sometimes when you don't know the person very well, throw a few things on.
Do you feel like you know me?
A little bit. Only because, you know, we've met you before, but you haven't spent much time with us, and the old saying is you've got to live with someone before you know them. Well, that's probably true.
How do you live a full and content life?
God, where'd you get that question from? It's called Everyone Wants to Go to Heaven, but Nobody Wants to Die. There you go. When I was investigating, when I started off, We were never allowed to have a beard because that made us different to everybody else. We all had to look the same. This is all the places you can go and camp overnight. Look at it, the water sneaking in. I'm no saint, but I think I lead a fairly decent sort of a life. But who hasn't got vices? 10% of the people in Darwin decide to go down and hang up a flyer on the fence. It's going to be pretty ramshackle, and I know we don't like rules, and I'd be a strong one with rules. I don't like them, but you just got to have them.
Do you reckon I'll ever run the ABC?
No. There's a young fella that in Renmark, and he used to push his nose something else. Some of the blokes used to have a non-official competition going between them. Who could tell the biggest fairy tale and who could stay in someone's house the longest. And one bloke came in and he said he stayed at someone's house for 2 days.
Does that make him a good investigator?
Well, he's not a bad one if he pulled that one off. You don't do it for the glory, it's just the way the case unravelled.
I was ready to scope out another public event. This time I didn't actually find anything to report on. But I did meet someone who told me about a world I'd never encountered. A world I felt I'd known forever.
When you find your first bit of gold, it's very hard to explain, really. It's sort of, you go, oh wow.
Apparently lots of people enjoy searching for gold, but don't do it as their profession.
If you find gold, you find gold. If you don't, just enjoy the experience. Sit around the campfire and sit back and take life as it comes, basically. If you want to make a small fortune, start with a large fortune and whittle it down.
All you needed was a bit of time and some intriguing gear.
It's telescopic. You can open it out to whatever you want to work it with. So that's, I presume, is bronze, but there's metal there somewhere. That's the biggest piece of me.
Right, and what was that? What's that?
Titanium.
I refused to invest in any gear. But I found a guy online who agreed to let me meet him in the outback during one of his expeditions.
Yeah. They'll be here soon. We'll go for a walk?
Yeah. We were getting along really well, and it was cool to see all the things he found accidentally. What was that?
That's an old tin, a bit of lead, a bit of tin. Whiskey bottle, someone's chisel.
bottle with a lid on it still.
I felt like we saw the world exactly the same way. Does it ever keep you awake at night thinking about the ones you walked past?
Yeah, once you go home and then you think of where you've been and you go, well, maybe I could have slowed down a little bit more, or just, yeah, it does. It almost tears me up inside, but knowing that someone else could get the gold that you could possibly get. Once you've found it, you go, well, yeah, that's satisfaction, I've completed that. But if you can't be there and someone else is finding that gold, it's like they're taking a bit of what you could have had. And that satisfaction of just finding something yourself. If I find a bit of gold here and someone says, oh, that's my area, and you go, well, I found the gold, you can turn pear-shaped pretty quick. It's a weird world we live in. There's some weird people in it as well, so you've got to be careful. Yeah, like putting your trust in someone on a social media page or something to meet you out in the middle of the bush is pretty crazy. You'll have to be on the ground. Looking for a repetitive signal. Oh. Go again, just flatten that out a bit. There could be something.
And what's that worth?
10? Nothing. Worth putting in your pocket and getting it out of the ground for someone else. They should be filled in. I don't know, unless they were coming back, but you try and do the right thing all the time, but you walk across some of this and you go, what the? You go, someone didn't care. It doesn't take much, like, if we took more effort to dig the hole than this to fill it in, that would do for me, like, no one's gonna trip over that or.
It's a great little town. People in the community, they're really good and all friendly, help each other out and stuff, and yeah, it's a good little place.
Go in your own pace. You haven't got a rush hour or anything. Yeah, you could just, yeah, it's just nice and quiet.
Get together and a bit of a yarn about things. Things are pretty good here anyway, as far as I know.
I just like it here in Yalgoo.
We do get a lot of tourists coming from everywhere all around to come and visit Yalgoo. Mostly they all come for the wildflower season. Some people do come when we have like events like the Yalgoo races, and like we've got the Emu Festival and stuff as well.
That's what we'd like to see, the people coming through the town and liking the little place that we have here.
Yeah, they're all right. Come here and go up top of the hill there to the old church and back again.
Do you think they respect the town? And
I reckon, yeah. They're here every year. Every year when the wildflowers come out. Little tourist.
What about the people prospecting with metal detectors?
I never seen many of them. Because I hardly go out now these days. But most of the prospecting anyway. Never been there and done that yet. One day I might.
You get some that looks after the country and some that doesn't care, like they want to dig the holes and just walk away and leave them, but then you've got some that dig the holes and they fill them back in. So it depends which ones are the carers really, that likes to look after the place instead of destroying it.
30 years ago, people looking for gold in here. This is about 25, 30 km from the town. Years and years in here. Full the flowers. But if you compare that one, it's totally different. Every kid is curiosity. What happens is he follow down in here. You don't have chance be alive. You know? Now, started why the family is going to put the finger in the Shire. Why the Shire no cover that one?
Why don't the Shire cover that one?
Yeah, exactly, because it's not our job. I don't have the budget for that one. If you close it up in here, you need to check it up every year, just in case after the rain or after any events, you check it out, the sign, everything, you know, costs a lot.
I don't know what year it was when I first got here, but been here for a while now.
How close do you reckon the old mine is to your house?
I don't know how far it is. You reckon about 150 or more? You see all these old pepper trees there.
Sorry?
Pepper tree. This is the one they fenced off. It used to be open here before. But too dangerous for the kids.
How do you feel about the big hole behind you?
Ah, well, it needs to be filled back in again. Oh, they'll probably do it one day. There's an old mine site thing over here at the school. You want to go and have a look at it?
Okay.
Let's walk back this way.
So it's been closed over 100 years.
Yeah. Been an old mine. Yeah, it was a bit hard at the time when I had to grow up in Yalgoo because you had to entertain yourself, and on the hills from the mines we used to slide down them when it was raining and all that. And it'd get all muddy and that. We used to use them as slippery slides. Thought it was fun at the time.
How do you feel looking back on that now?
Oh, sit down and think why you did them silly things. Why, you know, and you can understand why the kids, my children, want to do it today. I tell them to stay away from over there, don't go, because the holes, we don't know how deep the holes are and, you know, how far they go down. And it's very dangerous for them. But yeah, you get kids are kids and just want to experience things themselves, and you just got to keep continuously looking out all the time where the kids are and where they're playing and that, and just keep monitoring them all the time to make sure they don't go near it or keep them well away from there.
There's basically nothing there to cover it. I haven't seen any warning signs or anything. I've been for a walk around there a couple of times and seen the holes myself, how deep and they are as well. And then, yeah, that's why I just really want to try and keep my kids away from there in case they fall down one day.
The principal, it's her job, talk to the kid, never go into this mine. Maybe our kid, he live in town, understand that. But what happened with the kid, visitor, coming to this town?
This sign here, is that to stop the children from seeing the mine?
No, this is only for learning process. The police explain what is the meaning stop, what is the meaning give away. This is area for learning. This is the problem. Many people thinking everything is the council. It's not.
But like a sign's not very expensive, why can't you do it?
Yeah, but the thing is because if you put the sign, you accepted the responsibility for years and years and years.
It's just not on. I reckon the people that owns it, well, they should be responsible for it, not the people in the community. And they should be doing something about it.
I would like maybe like someone to come and cover it or even try and block it off just to keep it a bit more safe for the kids.
You never know, they might end up breaking their leg or neck or something around there.
Do you think if someone had an accident they might fill it in?
Oh, well, they should do. If somebody get hurt there.
It's just a matter of trying to get a hold of the people that owns it and all that. And trying to communicate with them as good as they can, I suppose.
If somebody tell me, oh, it's going to a heritage, it's going to, for tourist attraction. What is the tourist attraction here? And try for a long time with this company, take it off all the material from there, put the land flat. But suppose because the people continue with the license.
Apparently they reckon there's still a bit in there, but I don't know for sure.
It shouldn't be underestimated the power that gold in particular has played in the prosperity of Australia. Historically, you were able to get out there and much like an early farmer or a pastoralist, and if you liked a bit of land, you could apply for the lease and then work the land. A lease is referred to as a mining tenement. People can be an owner of that, which is more common to call them an owner rather than a leasee. These things are constantly turning over, so it's a bit of an art form to watch and monitor what's going on. Pay your rent, pay the rates to the local shire councils, spend a minimum amount per hectare each year. For a smaller entry level, the expenditure requirements, can be as little as say $2,000 per annum, which you can expend in your own labour. The allure is driven by the price of gold. I think an old prospector told me once, he said, if there was more money in tin, I'd be a tin miner, not a gold miner. I've been prospecting for the last 40 plus years. Proud to say I've never had a job. So just straight out of high school when I was 15 and out prospecting with my dad. While I was looking around the state and various other spots, we were acquiring mining tenements. I had a mate who had an interest in the leasing back in the very early 80s. He might have even known it in the late 70s. He told me a bit about it when we were driving past there and mentioned how rich it was. He might research areas to work and to travelling around the country. Coincidentally, at one stage someone had dropped this area and I saw the opportunity and raced to peg it. So I banged the pegs in the ground and I was very excited to get the old Emerald Reward mine. Yalgoo is just one of many leases that I've got. So the Emerald Reward is right on the doorstep of Yalgoo town site, just north of some infrastructure. So we've got the council offices, the council yard. We've got the brand new, beautiful green oval on my doorstep there. The school is just on the southern boundary, and which is not uncommon throughout the goldfields of WA. You know, towns are built on next to gold mining, so that makes perfect sense. But it just does present a few little extra care that we need to take, during exploration, and making sure that things are done, to not to annoy the town folk, and to comply with all the conditions that the mines department put down. There's still some openings, and that's being evaluated right now as we speak.
There's the fence around the deep shaft, which you mentioned. Is it reasonable or even practical to fence the larger area of the site?
Yeah, I thought you might be asking me this, Aidan. It's one of those things that that happens everywhere around the goldfields, that there's legacy mining, and that's one of the reasons the Mining Rehabilitation Fund, the MRF, is up and running. But there is a desire to keep the exploration going, and not to let walls or fences or any other feature impede that. So the idea is, if we can get in there and keep everyone happy and do what we're required to, then happy days. If people just say, I'll just level them, it's a bit of a misnomer, because you actually make it more unsafe in many cases. No one's saying we shouldn't be making these things safe. That's a no-brainer. We certainly need to be. But we've just got to have the right approach to it to make sure that we're doing the right thing and for the right reasons. Mining heritage is a real thing. Some people say, it's just a hole in the ground, but it's often far more than that. There's a lot of background to the workings, the mining equipment, the foundations, and the shafts themselves, to a degree.
At the moment, it would not be worth your while speaking with me, if that makes sense. I know that sounds terrible, but I actually don't have enough information around that particular issue at all. I would be speaking, if I was you, to the person that's the Shadow Minister. I mean, she's a local member, but I'm happy to talk to you. Well, I think anyone that knows Western Australia understands that we are a state built on mining and agriculture. It's an accepted part of our history, but in 2012, the state government at the time moved to formalise a policy about how mines would be rehabilitated, and that included a fund, and it also included taking into consideration that there would be old mines that had been closed or abandoned that wouldn't fall into the funding mechanism that would be being paid into by industry. I was in government at the time, but I wasn't involved in those discussions. I think the reason that there is a review clause built into the legislation is to monitor this. From a community perspective, they are right to expect that the state government will step in and assist in making that safe and rehabilitating it.
The Emerald Mine in Yalgoo is on an active tenement, and obviously the tenement holder has certain rights with what they're doing. We do work in very closely with tenement holders to minimise the chance that we go and do a whole heap of work that within a few months might get undone through approved mining activities. We're planning the geotechnical work on the 23 shafts that are within the 1 kilometre radius of that school. So we're a little bit away from getting further understanding on what mining activities may or may not be occurring. The Geological Survey of Western Australia developed an inventory of mine features. It took them about 11 years. The inventory survey work focused on sites located within 10 kilometres of towns and 1 kilometre of major roads. So there's still a big portion of the state out there that would have more features on it. The inventory came about because of the loss of a child in the 1990s, where they fell down a shaft. And that wasn't the first one. I know of other, really serious accidents that have happened around shafts. And I think one of the biggest challenges before the MRF was created is the ability to do anything about them. There was no funding. It's a pooled fund, which the Western Australian mining operators contribute to yearly, and through those contributions and the presence of the Abandoned Mines program, it removes the burden from the WA community. We've only got one completed project that's done work with shafts to date, and that is at Donnybrook, where we remediated 11 shafts. There are 3 other shaft projects underway at the moment. It doesn't matter how much money you have in a bucket. If there's no interest rates applied against it, you don't earn anything. And work in this space isn't cheap. The last years have been quite problematic in terms of being able to action projects. We had a number of major projects that went on hold. Those monies that were contributed by WA mining operators, that can only be used for those sites that have become abandoned since the implementation of the Act. So pretty much since about 2013. Anything else, any legacy historic sites, they can only be addressed through using interest earnings on the fund. Close to 190,000 abandoned mine features that are recorded across the state on the abandoned mine inventory. The majority of them go back through the gold rushes from the mid-1800s. And of that 190,000 odd features, over 30,000 of them are shafts. There's a lot of legacy out there, and it's really hard to be seen to be doing a lot about it, particularly all at once, because to do this properly and safely and make sure that what we're doing isn't creating a bigger problem, it takes time.